Hello everyone, my name is Jolly Green and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Through the Ages. Today I've got 2 tickets, so you know what that means. That's right everyone, today we are going to Paradise, because in this video we're actually going to be covering the Minecraft Indev Update. Now these are 10 individual releases that came out over the course of February 2010, and the first thing that we're going to notice is that they've actually added 2 new map themes to choose from, the first of which we're going to get into now, and that's Paradise. I think we're going to save the second option for later. So as you can see, in Paradise, they have expanded the beach around the world border considerably and added plenty of extra flowers. However, the trees are few and far between. So one thing you'll notice about the Paradise world theme is that here, the daylight cycle won't progress. It's always high noon here.
It's high noon.
Now you may be thinking, Jolly, the last version, the sun didn't move either. And if you thought that, you'd be right. However, in this set of updates, they've actually changed that. So if you start a normal themed world here, there's now a daylight cycle where daylight lasts about twice as long as night. It's about 15 minutes for daylight and about 7.5 for night. One added benefit of the daylight cycle is now not only skeletons, but zombies as well burn during the day. So that's super helpful. And on a Paradise theme, you don't have to worry about night. So basically you have no mobs on the surface. It's an ideal area to work with. More or less a paradise. Speaking of mobs, this update does see some changes to what most mobs drop upon death. So, starting with the pig drops raw pork chops. Now, to cook the raw pork chops, I'm just gonna make a crafting table. Slap down there. And they have added, finally, the furnace. No longer do we have to throw our ores into the lava to smelt them. There we are. Apparently it is just one direction. This direction. So let's throw this in there. And we're going to first cook up our pork chop. And that's going to give us some cooked pork chop. So we can eat that to regain some more hearts than if we ate it raw. And we can also throw a couple of this cobblestone in there. And that, of course, is going to give us stone. So just some slight changes that were added along with the functionality of the furnace here. So I've gone around collecting a lot of this surface iron, and I now have just enough where if we throw this in the furnace here... Oh, fuel helps. So if we smelt this down, there, that should be the exact amount of iron that we need for a full set of iron armor. So it is the first that we're able to craft the iron armor. Of course, it was on mobs up until this point. And there we go. We are kitted right out. And of course, with the black skin that we have by default, it looks funky. It's even funkier this way. But hey, we are a derpy armored lad. Now let's go see if we can find out what these mobs are gonna drop when I kill them. Alright, so I found a cave over here earlier, and I think we're gonna check it out and see if we can find some mobs and figure out what these hostile mobs be dropping. Alright, so we got some zombies. Let's see if we can get a drop or two out of them. Nothing out of that one. I thought there was another one around here. He must have despawned. Ah, whoa! Shh. No! Okay, so the creepers drop sulfur. Later will be known as gunpowder. I really want a zombie. Okay! Hello, Mr. Zombie! Show me what you're holding. Nothing. Ah, it's so dark. Alright, I found this guy trapped way down deep in the cave. Let me try to light it up so you guys can maybe see. There we go, a little better. Let's see what he gets. Or what we get. Aha! Finally, we got one to drop one. So zombies drop feathers now. So that, we'll see how long that lasts. And then sheep don't actually drop anything upon death, but when you whack them, you do actually get some gray wool. And if you take that gray wool, or cloth as it's currently called, and stick it in the middle of some sticks. Nope. Let's try sticking it in the middle of some planks. Yeah, there we go. And then we get a painting. And first goal of the episode is going to be to try to get all the paintings to display. So there's the first one. Now I'm going to go whack some sheep. Ah! So can confirm sheep can't regrow their wool, which means that you are officially useless to me. I need some sheep with their clothes. You're not a sheep. I just need 4 more wools, I think. 4 more cloths. Oh, another naked sheep. Let me put you out of your misery. You look cold on this paradise. Oh, sheep. Oh, look at all the sheep. Give me your clothes. 2 more. Bam, clothes. I'm done. Look at that. Alright, so here we have 17 out of the 19 alleged pictures that they've added to the game. If I remember, I'll try to label them all in this shot here. Feel free to pause it if you want to read the labels. Boop. I've been sitting here cycling through the pictures, and there are just 2 that I can't manage to find. I don't know if they were added in a version slightly later than the one that I'm playing, or what the deal is. I've cycled through these enough that I can confidently say that I am not gonna find these last 2, which is a little disappointing. And as you may have gathered from the intro to this video, they added third person. By pressing F5, we now get a third person view. They've also added another function to the function keys with F7 taking a large screenshot. And that screenshot that I just took will possibly be the thumbnail of this video. So keep an eye out for that. So now that we've gone over most of the features that were added in this version, I would like to do some building. So I think I'm going to take this small island and, true to the name of the theme of this world, I'm going to make it just a small paradise getaway with a nice little house. Of course, our building is going to be very limited because we don't even have stairs or doors yet, but we're going to do the best with what we got and see what we can turn this little island into. So I definitely think one of the first steps in making this island a paradise is smoothing out the terrain a little bit. There's a lot of spots where there's kind of just dirt poking out underneath the sand, and I don't really like that. It also, there's a bunch of holes everywhere, and it's just really janky, classic terrain generation. So I think I'm going to smooth this out as best as I can, and then we'll kind of go from there. Alright, so I've just about managed to get all of the terrain smoothed out quite a bit, which actually proved to be more of a challenge than I was expecting, because you have these spots like this all over. The sand is just a single layer on the very top, so like even if on the beach, it's still only one single layer of sand. So if you want extra sand to kind of work with, you kind of have to get creative about where you pick it up, otherwise you're gonna destroy your whole beach. So on top of kind of smoothing out the terrain on the beach, making it a little less wonky, I also kind of went through and made these cliff faces less of a sheer face, kind of added some dirt sloping down. I didn't like how there were so many flat sides all around this island, but I think we got it to a point now where I'm quite satisfied. I've been gathering materials. I still have some more to get. I want to punch these sheep and get as much wool as I can, because I think that's going to be one of our main building blocks, as we don't have much to choose from, in all honesty. We have logs, we have planks, we have cobble, we have stone, and we have wool. That's pretty much it. We could throw some gravel in there too, but I think I'm going to use the gravel mostly for the paths, because we don't have path blocks either. So we're definitely going to have to get creative when it comes to actually making the structure here. So I've been thinking for the building, I'm going to put it on top of this hill, and I think I'm going to go with a more modern design. Seeing as how we don't have the ability to craft stairs yet, that kind of limits us for roofs. If we wanted to do like a pointed roof, it would have to be kind of all solid blocks, and I don't know how huge of a fan I am of just a straight roof. So I think we're gonna do more of a modern design with probably a flat roof. And I was thinking, this area here, when I was looking at it, it kind of curves around naturally like this. You kind of have a bowl going down into the ocean. So I was thinking maybe we could fill this up. There was water here, but the water acts weird in this version. So it kind of evaporated, I guess. It may have drained down into the lower levels as I was digging. I'm not entirely sure what happened to the water. But I was thinking maybe we could make a bucket, move some ocean water up here, and make a nice lake. And then we have a house right above the lake with a path going down on the other side. I think that might not look too bad. Let's see if we can make a bucket. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so no pond, because we can't make a bucket. So it looks like we're going to have to come up with something else. So I'm going to think on that for a couple minutes and probably get working on some plans. And I'll come back to you guys with an update, hopefully. So when starting to build here, one of the first things I knew I wanted was a path kind of leading up this hill. So I decided to go with some gravel on the outside, and in theory, that should prevent any grass from spreading on this dirt. So of course, we don't have coarse dirt yet, so we had really, this is the only way I could think of to prevent the grass from spreading, and hopefully it does the trick. The only issue is that I'm kind of running low on gravel. If I wanted to continue doing this path this way, I mean, in theory, I wanted it to kind of come and end like right here. So we probably need at least half a stack of gravel. Looking around for gravel, I'm not seeing much of any. Most of what I've been able to find has been on the ocean floor, which isn't the easiest to mine, unfortunately. So one thing I think I could try, back in the old school days, before they updated the water mechanics, because currently those bubbles running out, as soon as you get a second of air, they refill. So if we, yeah, see that torch fills up that spot just long enough for us to get a breath, and then we're full bubbles again. The only issue is that I think the torch disappeared. We had 8. but that's okay. This should allow us to at least dig some of this gravel, potentially some sand too, but I don't think we really need any sand. Really, gravel's the main thing I want. So we can't put anything in our offhand, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our torches right next to our shovel so we have quick access to them on the hotbar, and then we're gonna go for it. Looks like all sand. I need to find a gravel spot. Is this gravel? Yes. Perfect. Let me just mine up some of this. Yeah, it definitely makes the torch disappear, which is interesting, but at least it gives us a refill on our bubbles. So I did manage to get a little bit more gravel that way, but I still ran out. I was kind of hoping to bring it to like here. I think as a possible compromise though, we can work in some sand and gradually turn it into more of a sand path down for this area. In addition to being able to craft iron armor, you're actually able to craft cloth armor in this version as well. So let's get a full set of that going. Yep. Cover me in cloth. One of the last new additions we're going to talk about today is the addition of a new tool. We now have the hoe as a crafting item. Of course, it can be made out of iron, gold, diamond, or wood, or stone. And with the hoe comes the addition of seeds. So with the seeds, you don't gather them in the traditional way that you know today, because we don't have the tall grass spawning in the world. So what we do instead is we hoe the grass, and we hope that one will give us a seed. And we can plant the seeds by right-clicking on the plot. And now we just wait for it to grow. And of course, the seeds they added aren't completely useless. Once you plant them on the hoed ground, and they slowly, and I mean very slowly in this version, grow up. Once they've reached the last stage, this one is almost there, but not quite. Once they reach their last stage, then you punch them, and it pops off a seed and a wheat. If you take 3 of those wheat to our crafting table and slap them down, you get bread. So a new food source has been added. 2, actually, because in this version we see pork chops added and bread. So that's very exciting. So I have this nice path here that will eventually lead up to a house. We might start working on the house next, but I kind of want this path to lead from the house to somewhere. You know, this is a paradise island. I think it only makes sense that we set up a dock, probably on this big beach here, so we do have a little bit of room to go out with some building, because we are going to reach the limit of the world at some point where we can't build any more on it. So I think we're going to build a dock right out to that limit, and we'll see how it goes from there. Alright, so I've got this dock built here. It's nothing too exciting, just, you know, got some piles of crates over here, or some goods of whatever we're loading onto the ships. I'm really tempted to build a ship right here, but I don't think I have time, as I want to get this episode out this week, which we're coming close to the deadline on here. But one thing I noticed while I was putting that together is that the wheat actually will randomly pop off these spots. So that's not great, but you know, it is what it is. We just have to keep planting them, I guess. Now let's put a house here. So a bit of bad news. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the save feature on this version of Minecraft to work correctly. Some of you may already see where this is going. After getting done those clips that you just got done watching there, I had other things I needed to do on my computer, so I made sure to leave the Minecraft world up so I wouldn't lose it because I couldn't save it. Well, after I got done doing those things on my computer last night, just out of habit, I turned the computer off, and I realized when it was too late, and unfortunately Minecraft had already closed and I had lost that whole world. So I don't have a cool build to show you. I could take another 8 hours or so and redo it, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys this week. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to have time to do that. So what I've done instead is I have included an artist's rendering of the build that you would have seen in this spot right now if I wasn't an idiot. So unfortunately, due to that little mix-up, we are going to just be sticking to the facts for the rest of this update. We're going to continue going over the last couple features that have been added that we need to mention. One of them which we brought up earlier in this video is the other theme. We got Paradise added, and then there was teased another one, and that one is woods. So let's go into the woods. So as you can see here, we have a lot of trees. There's still just the basic oak trees. They all look the same. Not too much variation in any of them. But they're covering this island. We also have an overcast in the sky to make it look a little gloomy. So this world theme actually looks very similar to some of the covered forest biomes that we have now. Of course, you had like dark oak trees and such, then it would be a lot similar to what we have now. So you can really see how they're taking these world themes and later incorporating those as the biomes in the Infinite Generation world. Speaking of the Infinite World Generation, that's going to be what we're actually covering in the next Minecraft Through the Ages episode. We are going to be hitting those Indev Updates, where they have added the Infinite World Generation, and hopefully from there we're actually able to keep the world and just keep updating it to the newer versions as we go, so that way we don't have to keep starting over from scratch. We can just kind of add on to what gets added, so that'll be very good. So with that, I do think we are going to end it here. We have gone over just about every update that this version has to offer for us, and there's not much more to talk about. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get that build done to show off, and you were just left with that beautiful drawing, but shit. But it happens, you know, so I'm not going to stress out about it. I'm just going to get this one out to the best of my ability, while not being completely delayed, and I'm sorry that it is pretty delayed already, but I was able to get something done and out to you, and that's what's really important. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch, where we do play a lot of Minecraft and a lot of Overwatch. Also, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel already, feel free to subscribe. It's free and it supports the channel a lot. So with that, I think we are going to take a dive to end the episode. Have a good day, everyone.